a challenge for 36 cars to attempt, but only one can conquer the beast. Here we are at Daytona for the Daytona 500 for season number 5. The 5th installment of the AAPCS is here, and it's coming to you live at the high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. 36 cars in the field, and only 32 of them are full-time. We're going to see which part-time driver could possibly get it done here today, if that would be the case. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up with this series and the AAPCS, as this series is mostly going to be planned to be a weekly released series. So we'll see how we'll be able to keep up with that promise. But anyways, with 36 cars in today's field, 4 of them, being part-time. We're going to be getting to know these drivers very shortly here at Daytona. But let's go ahead and start off with your pole sitter of Kyle Busch. He's on pole with the new team at RCR, the newly rebranded number 8 RCR machine. Tyler Reddick drove that car last season, didn't do too well at all, missed the playoffs. But Kyle Busch, he finished 3rd in the standings last season. We'll see what he'll be able to do with RCR. Maybe he could come home with a redeeming championship. And then Chase Elliott, just yesterday afternoon, we had him win the duel at Daytona, the first duel at Daytona, that is. Him and his teammate William Byron swept the duels yesterday, so we'll see how the Hendrick cars will do. They'll be teaming up quite a lot this race. And then we got last season's Daytona 500 champion. It's Bubba Wallace in the 23 Toyota Camry for 2311. He's got a new teammate. Kurt Busch, your Season 3 champion, retired at the end of last season, and Tyler Reddick is the one in the 45 now. And then here are your drivers that have gone to the back. Josh Berry and Corey LaJoie went to the back for unapproved adjustments, and Martin Truex Jr. starting tail end of the field in a backup car after he had a wild ride yesterday at his duel. Take a look at it here. You can see coming off of turn number 4, got washed up the track by Jimmy Johnson and went up in the air, collected Josh Berry, slammed back to the ground, and it was such a hard impact that it destroyed his suspension. Team could not repair the whole thing, so they had to go to a backup car. And as we see here, the car's rolling off. Let's get to your starting lineup here. Kyle Busch with Chris Buescher right to the outside of him in row number 1. And in row number 2, we got the fan favorite and the dual winners of Chase Elliott and William Byron, Hendrick teammates there. And in row number 3, we have Austin Dillon and Bubba Wallace in that 3rd row. And then we got Joey Logano, sliced bread, to the inside of Tyler Reddick in the 45 2311 machine. And then Alex the Bowman Showman to the inside of the rookie Ty Gibbs, making his first full-time season in this series in row number 5. And then we got 2-time runner-up Ryan Blaney to the inside of Daniel Suarez. As the rest of the field will be going by on your screen, Denny Hamlin, your Season 2 champion, he is starting to the outside of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And Jimmy Johnson's coming back for another race here at Daytona. So we'll see what he'll be able to do in the 84 machine. Daniel Hemrick back in the series. He's driving the 31 with Shane Van Gisbergen making a part-time start here at Daytona. J.J. Yaley in the 15 showed surprising speed there in his duel. And then we can see the lineup for SHR, not good in the duels or in qualifying. They'll be starting really bad here today. And here are your race facts presented by Spoiler Diecast. Kyle Busch is on pole with 15 laps here at Daytona, 36 car field, and the last winner here was Bubba Wallace. And if you head on down to Spoiler Diecast and use code AAPCS at checkout, you can get 5% off and free shipping on all orders that are $20 or more. And as the cars are getting ready to roll off at turn number 4, they hit the gas pedal. Green flags in the air for the Season 5 opener at Daytona. Good start for Kyle Busch as he's getting the push from the 9 car of Chase Elliott. We'll see what they'll be able to do, how that Chevy duo will do as we see his RCR teammate in the back. And here comes William Byron. They're going to shove Chris Buescher out to dry, and William Byron's going to pick up his teammate. RCR leading the bottom lane with Hendrick Motorsports leading the top lane. Down the backstretch they go. Hendrick Motorsports out with the jump. They're going to try to clear the number 8 car of Kyle Busch. It doesn't seem like that's going to work out. Here comes Bubba Wallace with his help from Tyler Reddick. Busch is going to jump up to the high side. Now RCR is leading both lanes here as Wallace is going to split the middle. Through the gut goes the 23, last season's winner of the 500, leading once again as they go down to the turn number 1. 23-11 now leading as they go down the back. They're trying to clear the field, and there's a caution in the back. Big crash in the back. Legacy Motor Club collecting all 3 of their drivers. Anthony Alfredo and Kyle Larson get caught up in the mess as well. Let's take a quick look to see what happened here. It looks like coming off the corner, Eric Jones gave a bad shove to his team owner, Jimmy Johnson. That got him loose. He shot up the track, spun out John Nemechek. Looks like Anthony Alfredo caught a piece of it. Kyle Larson slid down the track. He managed to save it. He's on pit road. 5 cars collected in this mess, but it looks like 3 of them are going to be going to the garage. Kyle Larson and Eric Jones on pit road. Looks like they'll be able to continue. Jones with the most damage out of the 2, so we'll see what he'll be able to do continuing on. As we see the choose cone here, 23-11 is going to be on the inside with 3 Hendrick Motorsports cars pushing the RCR number 3. Green flags back in the air at Daytona. 5 laps completed. We're a third through this race as 23-11 gets a great jump on the inside. The outside lane did not get going as they jump up to the high side. Logano getting a big shove from the pole sitter. And the pole sitter of Kyle Busch, he's blowing up. That ECR engine lets go early as Kyle Busch is going to get down to the apron out of harm's way. Will he be able to make it down to pit road? We'll see. As the leaders, Penske boys leading the field. Logano and Blaney bringing Chastain up to the top 3 with them. And down through turns 1 and 2, Kyle Busch, he's blown up. He's on pit road. Smoke billowing out of the 8 car. Now 23-11's on the high side. They're trying to make something work, but those Chevys behind them are not going. Can they do anything here as Penske is still leading the top 2 as Blaney's going to try again. Oh, Blaney's around, up and over, tumbling down the backstretch. Big crash going down the backstretch. A miraculous flip for the number 12 Penske machine. Red flag out. The field stopped on the front stretch. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Major flip for the 12 of Ryan Blaney, tumbling down the backstretch at least 3 times there. As we see here, it looks like Chastain was the one that gave him a bad bump. He got loose, overshot, or overcorrected, and Bubba Wallace was there to hit him, which caught him airborne, and he tumbled up and over going down the backstretch. It's a miracle no one else was collected in that other than the 23. But you can see red flag is out. We'll take a look at the replay just one more time here. Yeah, Chastain washed up and then he flipped violently going down the backstretch. And he did go upside down 3 different times. Yeah, he had to have been up in the air for at least 3 feet. It looked like that was a big, scary crash for Ryan Blaney. He's out of the car, out of his own power. And he's in the infield care center. His buddy Wallace is involved in this, as well as Ross Chastain, who was the one that triggered it. But going back to the choose cone, another Penske boy is going to be working with Joey Logano here, Austin Cindric. We'll see if he'll be able to avenge his teammate Ryan Blaney. Green flags back in the air. Logano and Chastain lead him down to green once again here at Daytona. On board with Austin Cindric here for a little bit, giving a shove to his teammate of Joey Logano. They're leading coming off at turn number 4. And as they go down the front stretch through turns 1 and 2, Penske clear of Chastain. Will they go to block it? No, they don't. But Chastain, the defending series champion, gets a run on the high side. Doesn't stay the same, though. Oh, there's a crash. They're wrecking 3 cars involved. Cindric, Chastain involved. Big hit for the number 2 car. The 1 car caught up in it. McDowell and Reddick didn't seem to avoid them either. And we can see here, that was a big hit for Austin Cindric. But Chastain, looks like Chastain got loose off of the nose of the 34. and he shot back up the track after he overcorrected and collected the 34 once again. But that first impact there between Chastain and Reddick is what caused Reddick to slide down to the inside onto the pit road. But 4 cars involved here, and a big crash for another Penske car of Austin Cindric. What could this spell for Joey Logano? Could he possibly be cursed for the rest of this race? We'll have to wait and see. But all drivers are okay. Tyler Reddick had the least amount of damage out of all of them, but it was still a day-ending wreck as we see the choose cone. Let's see what these manufacturers can do for each other. It's going to be 3 laps to go. Green flags back in the air. Ford on the bottom getting a good shove from each other as we see the Chevys on the top side trying to make something work. They split Chris Buescher just like they did at the start of the race. Logano's on the top side now. Hamlin is coming in. He's the only Toyota in the top 5 right now. Here he comes. 2 laps to go. Elliott's going to be left out with no run. He has Daniel Hemrick and Daniel Suarez behind him as we're coming to the white flag. Hamlin's going to block the bottom as Elliott's starting to get a bit of a run. White flag in the air. Elliott's trying to make a move. Logano's on the top side as well, going down the backstretch. What will Elliott do? He's going to cross him over. Hamlin on the outside. Into the wall goes the 3. Through turns 3 and 4 with the help of Daniel Hemrick. Chase Elliott comes home to win the Daytona 500 in season number 5. Here's celebrations on the radio. Here's how it was done. Down the back they went. He juked out the 11 of Denny Hamlin. You could see Austin Dillon hitting the wall on the outside, but off of turn number 4, thundering off of the corner, Chase Elliott comes home with the victory in season number 5 for the Daytona 500. You can see there in the back. Let's take a look at it. Take a closer look at it. Looks like William Byron was the one to get Dillon loose. He spun around and went hard into the outside wall. Caught a little bit of air as he hit the outside wall that hard. But he is okay after that impact. And Chase Elliott on the front stretch, burning it down for the fans. Chase Elliott, your victor here in season number 5 for the Daytona 500. Daniel Hemrick comes home with a second place finish. Denny Hamlin coming up just short at the third place finish. Daniel Suarez and Joey Logano round out your top 5. And how about JJ Yeley coming home with a 6th place finish there at the end? And then Chris Buescher, your outside pole sitter, finishing 10th. And Shane Van Gisbergen coming home with a 11th place finish. And then you can see your DNFs here. We had Michael McDowell, or Austin Dillon, Michael McDowell, Austin Cindric, Reddick, Chastain, Wallace, your last season's winner, Blaney Bush, your pole sitter, Nemechek, Alfredo, and Johnson all DNF through 3 different incidents. Blaney tumbling down the backstretch, scary crash, but he was able to continue on. And here are your standings for season number 5 after the Daytona 500. Basically the same thing as the results, except the part-time drivers are not in the point standings. You can see Elliott leading the field with Carson Hocevar being in 10th place there in points. And then, of course, Jonathan Nemechek coming home with 1 point to his name as he was the lowest finishing full-time driver. And Kyle Busch, your pole sitter, looking to rebound at Phoenix next week as he only has 2 points to his name after that after that expired engine. And how about that? How about that for a Daytona 500? It was a great race here today. We're going to see the fight for the 5th championship of this season. You see the 4 champions there. 2 back-to-back championships for the number 1. Not a driver, but the number 1 has gone back-to-back in championships. We'll see what what Chastain will be able to do. But next week is going to be at Phoenix Raceway. We're going to be going back to the desert for the first time since season number 2. Last time we were there, Brad Keselowski came home with the victory. So we'll see what he'll be able to do in the 6. But we hope you guys did enjoy today, and we'll see you all in Phoenix.